Painting is poetry that is seen rather than felt, and poetry is painting that is felt rather than seen. A painter should begin every canvas with a wash of black, because all things in nature are dark except where exposed by the light. Learning never exhausts the mind. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. Poor is the pupil who does not surpass his master. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. I love those who can smile in trouble, who can gather strength from distress, and grow brave by reflection. 'Tis the business of little minds to shrink, but they whose heart is firm, and whose conscience approves their conduct, will pursue their principles unto death. It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. All our knowledge has its origins in our perceptions. I have been impressed with the urgency of doing. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Being willing is not enough, we must do. Experience never errs, it is only your judgments that err by promising themselves effects such as are not caused by your experiments. Although nature commences with reason and ends in experience, it is necessary for us to do the opposite. That is to commence with experience and from this to proceed to investigate the reason. There are four powers, memory and intellect, desire and covetousness. The two first are mental and the others sensual. The three senses sight, hearing, and smell cannot well be prevented, touch and taste not at all. Just as food eaten without appetite is a tedious nourishment, so does study without zeal damage the memory by not assimilating what it absorbs. The truth of things is the chief nutriment of superior intellects. All knowledge which ends in words will die as quickly as it came to life, with the exception of the written word, which is its mechanical part. Life well spent is long. Common sense is that which judges the things given to it by other senses. Knowledge of the past and of the places of the earth is the ornament and food of the mind of man. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so a life well spent brings happy death. Men of lofty genius when they are doing the least work are most active. Study without desire spoils the memory, and it retains nothing that it takes in. It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things. The painter has the universe in his mind and hands. Nothing strengthens authority so much as silence. One can have no smaller or greater mastery than mastery of oneself. Nothing can be loved or hated unless it is first understood. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death. The smallest feline is a masterpiece. Art is never finished, only abandoned. The greatest deception men suffer is from their own opinions. The knowledge of all things is possible. Learning never exhausts the mind. The deeper the feeling, the greater the pain. It is easier to resist at the beginning than at the end. The function of muscle is to pull and not to push, except in the case of the genitals and the tongue. As you cannot do what you want what you can do. I thought I was learning to live, I was only learning to die. The artist sees what others only catch a glimpse of. Life without love is no life at all. Iron rusts from disuse, stagnant water loses its purity, and in cold weather becomes frozen, even so does an action sap the vigors of the mind. The time will come when men such as I will look upon the murder of animals as they now look on the murder of men. Where the spirit does not work with the hand, there is no art. Time stays long enough for those who use it. Intellectual passion drives out sensuality. Realize that everything connects to everything else. I have offended God and mankind because my work didn't reach the quality it should have. All our knowledge has its origin in our perceptions. Water is the driving force in nature. Make your work to be in keeping with your purpose. God sells us all things at the price of labor. Our life is made by the death of others. He who wishes to be rich within a day, will be hanged within a year. Blinding ignorance does mislead us. Oh, wretched mortals, open your eyes. All sciences are vain and full of errors that are not born of experience, the mother of all knowledge. A poet knows he has achieved perfection not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. Obstacles cannot crush me. Every obstacle yields to stern resolve. Once you have tasted the taste of sky, you will forever look up. Learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. He who possesses most must be most afraid of loss. My body will not be a tomb for other creatures. He who does not oppose evil, commands it to be done. Learning is the only thing the mind never exhausts, never fears, and never regrets. Why does the eye see more clearly when asleep than the imagination when awake? Art is the queen of all sciences, communicating knowledge to all the generations of the world. I awoke only to find that the rest of the world was still asleep. The mind that engages in subjects of too great variety becomes confused and weakened. Thanks for watching. Don't forget like, comment, share and subscribe.